Let us sit straight. Head, neck, backbone straight. This is a position where the energy flow is maximum. Let us let go all our past experiences, keeping only the learnings with us. Let us get detached from all the past regrets, any grudges, what we are holding on to. Let us let go all future imaginations, worries, anxieties, tensions. Our mind fluctuates between memory and imagination. In that, we miss the moment where life happens. Let us let go all present confusions, nervousness, and focus on our breath. Breath is always in the present moment, always fresh, always detached. Even little time when our mind comes on the breath, the mind will acquire its qualities. Whatever mind focuses on, it acquires its qualities. That is a very important psychological truth. Form and name without our knowledge. That is the reason we have to study scriptures and know about our own Swarup, Atma, self definition, so that when we think of it, mind will start having the qualities, acquiring the qualities of the Atma self, which is pure existence, pure consciousness, infinite bliss. We don't have to put efforts, because once the understanding is clear, mind will automatically acquire those qualities. We don't have to think what is tomato. Now, whether you want it or not, tomato has come in our mind. All those people who have locked in red color round. We are doing Bhakti Yoga, where the qualities of bhaktas, qualities of Sagun, Sakar, Nirgun, Nirakar, we are discussing. So that is a psychological truth, psychological science, where this Bhakti Yoga chapter is based on. Let us chant loudly so that all lingering thoughts at the subconscious level also vanish, and our mind is ready to have darshan of Sagun Sakar or Nirgun Nirakar, whichever we want. There is a choice Lord has given. Buffet. Oh. 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 Om Sanavavatu Sanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
गजाननं भूतगणादिसेवितं कपित्थजम्बू फलसारभक्षितम् उमासुतं शोकविनाशकारणं नमामि विघ्नेश्वर पादपङ्कजम् सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः स्थावरं जंगमं व्याप्तं यत्किंचित् सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः चिन्मयं व्यापि यत् सर्वं त्रैलोक्यं सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देवदेव सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं हरि ओम.
Hari Om. Thank you, Manisha. So we are doing chapter-wise summary and we are on the 12th chapter, Bhakti Yoga. Who is God? Very important chapter. Why important? Because it gives us what is the definition of bhakti. It gives qualification of a bhakta. And most importantly, it distinguishes the most controversial topic in the world, in all religions, where all fighting is happening. World over fighting is happening on God. All religions are fighting, trying to convert here and there. So very important pointer to understand that what is Saguna Sakar Bhakti and what is Nirgun Nirakar Bhakti. This is where the whole controversy happens in different religions, in different people's mind, without knowing exactly what is the science behind it. In our own, let us take 2-3 important points where the fighting is happening. Some religions believe there is no God on earth. Then idol worship, rituals, all this thing is waste of time, money, energy, and only foolish people do this. Even in Hindus, We have some intellectual class. They say, no, I am a spiritual person, but I am not a religious person. Anybody says this, we have to understand those who are reading Bhagavad Gita, they are neither religious, neither spiritual. Because some people say, no, I don't do any rituals and I don't go to temple, but I don't like chanting, but I'm a spiritual person. And then some people say, because I go to temple, I do chanting, I read some scriptures, I'm a spiritual person. Bhagavan is giving qualifications here of both. And very interestingly, he has not given any qualification of all these kind of things. He has given mental qualities. Now, that doesn't mean that we should not do. These are all processes for developing these qualities. I'll repeat. When we go to temple and do puja and do chanting, our love for God must increase. And when the love increases in my heart, it gets displayed. Not only for God. Loving God is very easy. Loving people is very difficult. When we go to temple and after coming out, we criticize the temple, we criticize the beggars, we criticize the prasad. Then Kabir Das ji says, जिसे कभी देखा नहीं उसकी पूजा करते हो और जो सामने है लोग, people, animals, उसकी निंदा करते हो, ये कौन सी भक्ति हुई? जो भगवान को कभी देखा नहीं उसकी पूजा करते हो और जो सामने जगत है, जगत ईशधि, उसकी निंदा करते हो, ये कौन सी भक्ति हुई? So, very important topic to understand that what is the science behind this, and most importantly, this Arjun's question where this Bhakti Yoga chapter starts, that among this Sagun Sakar Bhakti and Nirgun Nirakar Bhakti, which one is superior, he asks. Which one? Because he is a warrior, he wants the superior one. And why he is asking? Because the 11th chapter, Bhagavan completed with, or in the last word comes, Mat karma mat paramaha, mat bhakta sangha varjita. Bhagavan said, you only worship me alone. Now, Arjun remembered that Bhagavan, you have given all these qualities of the Atma. Last time we mentioned 7th verse of Mandukya Upanishad, where all qualities of Atma are given there. And why all these discussions are in Bhagavad Gita, Upanishad, Brahma Sutra about Atma? Because some people say, no, I do meditation, I don't do all this kind of thing. I do meditation. Okay, what I do? No, I sit quiet and I've got a meditation mat and I find a nice quiet place and I close my eyes and meditate on what? Meditate on what? I must be very clear what is the definition of Atma. If I close my eyes, meditation on what? Body, breath. Because the object of meditation must be clear. And that's the reason all our scriptures, if we see, they are giving so many pointers towards that object of meditation, that is our own self. And without knowing the self clearly, I cannot meditate on it, because meditation is not possible without knowledge of the object. Very important point. Meditation is not possible without the object on which I have to meditate upon. So, we will just summarize what we did in the last session, that what is this Arjun's question and what is Bhagwan's answer on Saguna Sakar Bhakti and what is Nirgun Nirakar Bhakti. And I was just, when I was preparing this, I like this kind of discrimination, what we used to do in schools, draw a line in between and then differentiate between living organisms and non-living organisms. That becomes very easy to understand. So before we go there, what is Arjun's question? Tesham ke yoga vittama. What is uttama? Nirgun Nirakar, or focusing on one God with form and name, or truth without form and name? Very important question. Lord says that if you want to focus on form and name, these are the qualification. So Saguna Bhakti definition must be clear. If I am thinking that I am Bhakta, and some people say, no, Bhakti is easy, And jnana is difficult. When we read this, we find bhakti also is not that easy. Because the first qualification Bhagavan mentions is unconditional love. Unconditional love. Maya vesha mano ye mam. Fix the thought on me, because thoughts can only be fixed. Our thoughts normally will go without our knowledge to someone, something we love. No, but my thoughts go to someone I hate, but behind that hatred, there would be love that I am expecting this from this person I am not getting. So without love, there cannot be anger also. So suppose I am considering myself as bhakta, then I must ask myself every day one question, that whether my love quotient is increasing. If there is a perfume bottle kept and the perfume bottle is open, as those who come near that perfume bottle will automatically start getting the smell of it. So when the love increases, automatically people will start feeling the love what the other person is displaying. So our Guruji says very, very important, clear sadhana to do. Take jnanam inside all these scriptures and express premam. This is one of my favorite ones. Normally what we do when we take jnanam, we give jnanam only. This is bad, that is bad, you must do, you are not spiritual, I am spiritual. This Maya, Brahma, and Guruji says that when the jnanam really increases about these scriptures, what will happen is not, it will get converted into premam. And one will start feeling loved. If we go to Guruji, if we go to Amrutanandamayi, just one hug, people just go for that love, because love is the healing factor. Love is one factor which destroys the ego. Where there is love, there is no complaint, there is no criticism, there is no cribbing, there is no blame. We can see these masters displaying every day. The moment we come in their presence, we feel love. So unconditional love. So these are parameters I must check, that as I am chanting, as I am doing puja, as I am doing japa, as I am going to temple, whether my love quotient is increasing. Second one, undisturbed steadfastness. Nitya yukta upasate. My faith, my steadfastness doesn't get disturbed. I don't get carried away by the happiness in the world, because I know clearly by understanding and reading and doing the chintan that real happiness is located in the subject, not in the object. Very important point. There are only two things in this world, subject and object. Either happiness should be in the object or it should be in the subject. That is me. If there is a happiness in the object, then happiness, everybody must get happiness through non-veg food, through one drink, whiskey, beer, or through cigarette. But no. All these things I don't like all these things. That means happiness is located in the subject. That is me. So I must actually seek happiness where it is located. So that steadfastness comes through understanding and unwavering faith. Where there is faith, Nitya Yukta Upasate, there is no tension, there is no worry, because Bhagavan is taking care. Why am I worrying? No, I don't want to live. What is there? No, Bhagavan will take. If I believe in Bhagavan, Bhagavan will take care of my worry. Bhagavan will take care of tension. So, very, very important points of a bhakta. So, what is the definition of bhakti? Unconditional love plus undisturbed steadfastness and unwavering faith. 3 pointers I must remember. These are qualifications to develop also. And this is a definition of bhakti also. So we got definition of bhakti. Qualification of bhakti are going to come in detail. So we can say that this is definition of bhakti. Very important point to remember. This is Prakriti Marga and we can employ the mind. That's the reason if my mind is actually extroverted, it goes towards form and name. This is where our science is so beautiful and so perfect. It is complete psychology that suddenly if I ask a person to sit quiet and withdraw the senses and withdraw the mind, It is not very easy because mind wants to see form, mind wants to see the name, mind wants to chant. And that's the reason this idol worship is given to human mind, so that the ideal behind is reached, but my mind is not yet ready to withdraw. Withdrawal is nivrutti marga. In Buddhism, directly we start in Vipassana, withdraw. Withdraw the mind from everything and then focus on the breath, focus on the body. Withdrawal is not easy just because so many thoughts come in my mind. We can just try 1 minute, just sit straight and close our eyes, and hundreds and thousands of thoughts come in our mind. So now Prakriti Marga is given. Employ your mind on one God. Think about his name, her name, and form and the Leela. Last time we saw relationship. All these things will come and the emotion will come. And this emotional anchor will be established. This is a very important point. Everyone must have one anchor for our emotions. Otherwise, emotions will go haywire. It's a complete psychology. And that's the reason there is maximum challenges in the world today in family or in corporate or in business, because people are not able to manage emotion because I do not have one emotional anchor to hold on. Maximum suicides are happening in India, and the reason, suppose we study as a research student, it is happening because of family relationships. I must go and check how many suicides are happening, which is the place where maximum, and what are the causes which are known. Majority are coming in family relationships. So I am not able to manage my emotions because emotional anchor is not established. There must be one emotional anchor, either scriptures, either God, either Guru, either some noble cause, country, then I am able to some super noble goal, then the mind is hooked on to it. So employing the mind is very important in Saguna Bhakti. Nirguna Bhakti defined. 3 qualifications given here for Nirguna Bhakti. Those who people think that no. I am not a person who enjoys rituals, God, and the Murti, and going in temple and yatra and going to various temples, Char Dham, etc. I like to meditate. Okay, then what are the qualifications? The person must have withdrawal of senses from names and form. Wherever I sit, if I just close my eyes and sit, there must be peace for a long time. Nobody's thought is coming, no form and no name is coming, then I am qualified for this. Equanimous to situation, objects, people. Sarvatra samabuddhaya. This is a very important point. Actually, this is where the entire Vipassana is based on. Because these are the qualifications they talk: equanimity and impermanence. Equanimity and impermanence. And intent on welfare of all. Sarva bhute bhuta hite rata. What is intent on welfare of all? I must not think more about myself. I must think about how I can give happiness to others. What I must do now so that others will be benefited. This is a predominant thought for a Nirguna Bhakti. If these qualifications I am having, then I can just practice Nirguna Bhakti very easily. For that, I need to know what is the definition of what I am meditating upon, because it is withdrawal from the world and focusing on the Atma. Nivrutti Marga. This is called as Nivrutti Marga. Withdraw the mind. Withdraw the mind from the world, withdraw the mind from the body, withdraw the mind from the breath, withdraw the mind from the mind, withdraw the mind from the intellect, withdraw the mind from the memory, and focus on what? Focus on that Atma whom I have learnt upon. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. That is the reason we must study scriptures, because in Upanishads, all the time the definition of Atma is given. And lastly, in the last few verses, the message or suggestion or advice will be: meditate on this, whatever I have discussed. So as I mentioned, this is a very, very important chapter to do manan upon. All conflicts will go, all fightings will go. We can understand all religions very easy. Why they are talking of this. And here is a science which says that Bhagavan himself is going to come and say that Nirguna, Nirakar focus is not very easy if my identification is more with body, mind, intellect. That we will see. So now we will, as I mentioned, this is for our understanding. What is Sagun Sakar? What is the Sagun Sakar Bhakti? The object is Nama Rupa Guna Sambandha Dhama Leela Swarupa. Last time we discussed that we must know the name, we must know the form, we must know the qualities, we must know my relationship with God, we must know the location. That's the reason people go to various places. And then what are the stories of God? And that is the reason all these Puranas are there, Bhagavad Puran, Vishnu Puran, and this Swarupa of God. That is my Swarupa only. What is the qualification required? Devotion and love. Suppose I feel that I am having lot of love and emotion, I must, when that love and emotion and goes to a noble level, a higher level to God, it is called as devotion. Result, Rupa Darshan and then Nirguna Darshan. So in Sagun Sakar, there is ek ke upar ek free. I will get Sagun Sakar darshan of Bhagwan also. So many saints have got Sri Ramji's darshan, Krishna's darshan, Shiva's darshan, Devi's darshan. There are two things. If I get darshan in dream, then that is called as a dream. But when I get darshan in my waking state, like Ramakrishna Paramahansa used to get, then that is Rupa darshan. And then Totapuri came and then gave him what is Atma, and then in 3 days he got Nirguna darshan also. Path, pravrutti marga, employ the senses and mind, constant remembrance of God. That is a path a devotee follows. What is the sadhana method? Puja, mantra chanting, japa, kirtan, tirtha yatra, seva of the world, which is the form of the Lord. Last one is very important. I do not discriminate between the world and the God, because I say all this world is created by God, so I do seva. So that is where whenever we go to any bhakti ashram, there we will find lot of seva. Support, emotional anchor is gross idol image. So from today, we must not say, no, this is lower, I am higher, I do only meditation. There has to be some anchor. The moment I see that God's photo or idol or our guru's photo, image, and remember, immediately my mind will quieten down. So what is an emotional anchor? Whatever quietens my mind, that is my emotional anchor. Everyone must have one emotional anchor. Otherwise, it is very difficult to manage our emotions. Even Bhagwan says in Bhagavad Gita, Chanchalam hi manak Krishna, Pramathi balavat drudham. Arjun says, and Bhagwan says, yes, I agree with it. It is very difficult to yield, very difficult to control, very difficult to make it quiet, because the nature of the mind is like that. So there has to be an emotional anchor. This emotional anchor topic, I must do manan. What is my emotional anchor? Whom do I think? Where my mind quietens. Process, mind gets identified with the Lord in this process of sadhana. And then that's the reason Tukaram Maharaj says, Atas Baisalo Shezari. Then he says, Deha Bharila Vithala. Now my whole body is full of Vithala only. What kind of experience that would be? So I must now have a desire to have that kind of experience. Not, what kind of experience would be to have that samosa, that vada, that, that place if I see, that person I interact. Now here Tukaram Maharaj says, Deha Bharila Vithala. Means what could be that experience? That's the reason spiritual sadhaks must read Santa Vangmaya. Santa Vangmaya is very, very important, because these are all people like us who have given their realization process, but in their own way. Vision, seeing God in all, oneness. What is recommended? Now Bhagwan says this is recommended for majority. Now this is where our science, our scriptural knowledge goes to the next level, because majority of us are fond of name and form. Name and form. I have to think about this. When we say Sagun, Sagun means with qualities, and Akar, Sagun Sakar means form. Mind actually is hooked on to quality and form. Quality and form. It is not very easy for the mind to become Nirgun Nirakar, become quality less and Akar less. And that's the reason when we focus on breath, when we chant Om, which has no Akar, some Akar is there but no Guna, Om. Breath, some guna is there, but no akar. So that way we focus on something which is nirgun nirakar. It is not very easy to directly do Atma Chintan or Brahma Chintan. So it is a support where the mind requires. Lord's role, which is going to come. I will lift you, like Shabri and Prahlad. I will come and lift you. This is going to come. But now we are discriminating. What are the conditions? We have seen 3. Fix your thoughts, mind and intellect on me continuously. These conditions are given of emotional mindset. Is a important one required for a Bhakti Yoga. Then worship me with sense control and with supreme faith. This we saw in Bhagwan's second verse. Obstacles in this Bhakti path: wavering mind, less sense control, lack of faith. These are the 3 obstacles which will come in Bhakti path. Now, what is Nirgun Nirakar path? What is the object of meditation? Imperishable, indefinable. Very important to note all these things. Unmanifest, all-pervading, unthinkable, unchanging, unmutable, immovable, eternal. How will we meditate if my mind is not ready? What are the qualifications required for this? Vivek and Vairagya, Shada Sampatti, Mumukshatva. Sadhana Chatushtaya, I must have Vivek. What is Vivek? Discrimination between what is changing and what is not changing. What is Atma and what is Anatma. What is myself and what is not myself. And very important quality for withdrawal is Vairagya, dispassion. When this dispassion comes, I can just sit quietly and close my eyes and then revel in that bliss of Atma. What is the result? Swarupa Darshan. Aham Brahmasmi will be the Anubhuti. Aham Brahmasmi. I am Brahman. And that's the reason in Taittiriya Upanishad we discussed for a long time. Om Brahmavit Apnoti Param. The knower of Brahman attains supreme. I have to just know the Brahman. That's all. When the mind is pure, when the mind is concentrated just by knowledge of Brahman, there will be enlightenment, there will be Swarupa Darshan. Why? Because action is not required, because that is my own self. What is the path? Nivrutti Marga. Now, this is very, very important to understand, because many times, we find people who will say, I am not interested in all these things, I am not interested in all these things. And then those people are interested, they will criticize them. Withdraw the senses and mind constantly from the impermanence of the world. I must be very clear that the world is impermanent. It cannot give me permanent happiness. Situations are impermanent, objects are impermanent, relationships and people are impermanent. If I put my mind on that and seek permanent happiness, that is going to make me suffer. That is the cause of sorrow. So the person is always thinking of this. And this is the basis of Buddhism in meditation, impermanence and equanimity. And observe, जो देखता है वो छूटता है, जो भोगता है वो अटकता है. That is what is the mantra there. Sadhana, what is the sadhana method? Shravan, Manan, Nididhyasam. Please see comparison of this. What is the sadhana method here? What is the sadhana method here? Because I must ask myself, what is my path? Support, intellectual anchor, subtle pointers of Brahman. That's the reason all this last time we chanted. Na anta pradnyam, na mahish pradnyam, na pradnyana ghanam, na pradnyam, na pradnyam. All these things in the 7th mantra of Mandukya Upanishad. All Upanishad will give subtle pointers of Brahman. And these are intellectual anchors, that Jagan Mithya Brahma Satya. And then person will hold on to that Brahman pointers. Process, mind gets absorbed in the self. Your mind gets absorbed in the form of the Lord, and then self. Vision, self in me is self in all. Oneness. In both there is oneness, but the process is slightly different. What is recommended? For whom it is recommended? Bhagavan says this is recommended for minority. Because Vairagya doesn't come so easily to people. Bhakti is comparatively easy. But now after reading this, I find Bhakti also is difficult. Now we are going to see the gradation. Arjuna is going to say, Bhagavan, this is difficult. Then Bhagavan said, do this. Bhagavan, this is also difficult. Then you do this. And finally, Bhagavan will say, okay, you start with Karma Yoga. Lord's role, provide Guru. Now, this is very important. What is the Lord's role in this? Lord's role is that he will provide us the right teacher at right time, then ensure that this knowledge is given to us. Scriptural knowledge comes to us. Atma knowledge will come to us. And then Bhagavan will say, now I have given you knowledge, I have given you Guru. Having faith on this knowledge by understanding and conviction, you lift yourself by yourself. In the 6th chapter, Bhagavan says, Uddaret Atmanatmanam. You lift yourself by your own mind and knowledge now. Because mind is your friend and mind is your own enemy. What is working for me and what is not working for me, I must know very clearly at the mind level. Ramana Maharshi will say, who am I? Leave this. This is meditation. Just ask, sit quietly and say, who am I? Nothing will come in mind, but I must know all these things before I get into the who am I process. Then it becomes very easy. Conditions. These conditions we saw: intellectual mindset, here emotional mindset, withdrawing all the senses from names and forms. So here person is not interested in gossip about who did what happened. Withdraw. Okay, I just do my duty and withdraw. I just do my duty and withdraw. Equanimous to all. Psychologically, not functionally. Functionally, I have to be different to sugar, salt, and chili. So functionally, I may find the person is behaving differently. But psychologically, I know that the self in me, self in all, the same Atma is there. And this whatever is superimposed on this, that is only a superimposition. Intent on the welfare of all beings. Constantly the person thinks about other people. What can I do? I have limited life. Let me help other people. And constantly the mind goes outside to help. So what is spirituality? We had mentioned this. Spirituality is when I close my eyes, there is peace. And when I open my eyes, the thought comes, what can I do for others? Intent on welfare of all beings. A person who is tensed, who is stressed, who is constantly restless, who is sad, who is sorrowful, who is not happy, is a person who is thinking about oneself maximum time, over self-significance. Why me? And what is happening to me only? The whole thought is what is happening to my body, what is happening to my mind, what is happening to my intellect, what is happening to my life as an experience. This person displays this quality because over self-significance. What are the obstacles? Bhagavan is going to talk about this now. More identification to body leading to extrovertedness, ego, self-centricness. So Bhagavan is going to start with this, that among these two paths, what is more difficult? Nirgun Nirakar is more difficult for people who have more body identification. So what is the warning Bhagavan giving? Klesho adhika. Klesho adhikatar. A person who is having more body identification, more mind identification, more sansar identification, and then try to sit quietly and withdraw the mind, go to Himalayas. No, I want to go to Himalayas and meditate. But here I must practice Vairagya. Just I must sit quiet and see whose thoughts are coming, what kind of thoughts are coming, past, present, future. And then that's the reason Bhagavan says to Arjun, do not go to Himalayas and meditate right now. You fight. You live here. You live your life. Go to Hastinapur, do Rajya, get married, have more children and rule, because that is what your mental makeup is right now. For those who have more BMI identification, Nirgun Bhakti is more difficult. Then I will become a hypocrite. Inside I have a desire, but outside I am showing that I am very spiritual. Meditation on formless is difficult because I have attachment to form, name, relationship. Avyakta hi gatir dukkha dehavad vira vapyate. My identification is with my body, not very easy. Last session itself, I think I mentioned to you that from last Sunday, 10:30 to 11:30 in the ashram, Atmabodh Swami Advayananji is taking, where Guruji inaugurated. I am going personally because not only for learning, but just to go there and, being there in the ashram for 1 hour and listen in person. Still, you can come. You can join anytime. Those who are staying around, you have a car drive from Ghatkopar to Powai and back. But it's an experience to go there and listen. This is there online also. But going there and listening, it makes a huge difference. Nirgun Bhakti is easy for sadhaks who have more vairagya and less body, mind, intellect identification. Nirgun Bhaktas have to lift oneself by oneself. Bhagavan says, I will support you. Not that Bhagavan doesn't support, but Bhagavan will support by giving a guru and more knowledge. Then he says, okay, you are having the knowledge now. Now you lift yourself by yourself. As majority population is identified with body, mind, intellect, Saguna Bhakti is recommended. Now this is where is the whole difference comes, where other religions and people and other people, so many gods you have, 33 crores gods you have, and so many temples. Because our mind is attached to form, to relationship, to name, to gun. And that's the reason this is a support what anybody would require to go beyond that support, like that pole vault. There is in pole vault, there is a bar kept there and one has to jump over the bar. But to jump over the bar, I have to take hold of a pole. But after I jump, I have to leave the pole and then jump over. How to do Sagun Bhakti and what will be the result of it? Renounce all actions in me. I am not the doer. I am just an instrument. So for those who think that I am a Sagun Bhakta, it is very easy. Now here, Bhagavan gives conditions and then in gradation, he gives the condition. Always I have to tell myself that I am only an instrument. I am not the doer. Bhagavan is the doer. And so the result will go to Bhagavan. Regard me as the supreme goal, very important one. Job, family, business must become means. So the goal of doing a job, having a family and business is very clear that by doing job, family, business, my love must increase, my happiness must increase, there must be less stress, there must be less tension, my health must go up. And I use all these things to seek the supreme goal, that is God. So job, family, business are the means, not the goals. This is very important. For some time, for some people, God becomes only part-time job. But my major interest is that what can I get from God for my family? What can I get from God for my business? What can I get from God for my job? That is also right. Bhagavan says you must ask from God only, but then your goal is this and God becomes the means. Because I want something, I want God. J.K. Krishnamurti says that where there is no fear, no God. So seeking God as the supreme goal, and I must see that job, family, business, I grow as a person. Meditate on me with single-minded devotion. I only love God, less attachments. To job, family, business. Slowly, my attachments must reduce. This is very important because we do not know, we get into a job, we get into a business, we create a family and can get so attached to it that then it gives us sorrow. Because when some people leave, when job goes, this goes, then I become sorrowful. But I first of all started to be more happy and to be more loving. So I must be careful in doing this Saguna Bhakti, because when I will get attached to what, we will never know. Set your mind and intellect on me alone. These are all given by Bhagavan in the verses. Then I will lift you from this ocean of change, finitude and limitations. Tesha maham samudharta mrityu samsara sagarat. Bhavami nachirat partha. I will lift you. So a bhakti yoga person must be always looking up to Bhagwan. When are you going to lift me? Bhagwan says, you do this 5 things and I will lift you. You don't have to do any efforts, but you do efforts for this. What is that? Be less attached. Be focused on me. Do all actions for me. Do not get attached to job, family, business. Single pointedly you devote to me. Increase your love quotient. Day by day, people must feel that you are becoming more loving and more loving and more giving. And then I will lift you. So you're not very easy. Saguna Bhakti also is not very easy. How will you lift me? Bhagavan says that when the child cries when hungry, the mother exactly knows what to give and when to give. That way I will give you. That way I will lift you. You don't have to tell the child doesn't have to tell the mother what to give, when to give. Also, the mother knows whether the child is crying just like that or with hunger or with some pain. How do the mother knows? That is mystery. Similarly, God knows exactly whether his children are crying with pain or crying with hunger for God. One saint says, Ata lagali bhuka, means now I am hungry of you. So now some more qualifications are given here and the gradation is given. Gradation. And what gradation is given? If this you are finding it difficult because all these things seems to be difficult, and then I say I am a devotee of God and people say Bhakti Yoga is easy, Jnana Yoga is difficult. Now when see this qualification, these qualifications are not very easy to develop. So now we will see the gradation. Bhagavan says, if you are not able to do this, do this. If you are not able to do this, do this. If you are not able to do this, start with this at least. But before that, one important one, after 12 number, 13 number comes in numbering. Similarly, after 12 chapter, 13 chapter is going to come. And 13th chapter is considered to be a little difficult chapter. Kshetradnya Vibhaga Yoga. It is one of my favorite chapters. I am going to take slightly in detail. But there are some basic requirements to enjoy and to get the gist of the 13th chapter. Before we go there, I just want to announce that I am going to take one topic called as Pramana Vichar, validity of knowledge, how knowledge happens, how we do superimposition, and how knowledge happens to us. Who is the knower? Because the chapter, what is going to come is the distinction between the knower and the known. Who is the knower and who is the known? What is the known? So that will be Monday 7 to 7:45 from tomorrow. So I would invite all of you, those who are attending Bhagavad Gita, and those who want to really enjoy more the 13th chapter, which is when the Bhakti Yoga is complete, Bhagavan is going to get into a lot of logic. And we are going to take some help of Shankar Bhashya also. So I would invite that you can have, you can come and attend that 7 to 7:45. And we prepare ourselves for the 13th chapter. And you can hear the recordings also later on if you are not able to attend. But my invitation to you is that this Pramana Vichar topic is not available at many places. So it will be a very interesting topic to see in ourselves, how we interpret, how we see, and what are the different means of validity of knowledge. So now we go into gradation. Fix your mind and intellect on me. What is fixing mind and fixing mind on me? What is the definition of mind? Sankalpa mana. Mind will always create some sankalpa, some desire, some thoughts. And here I must create a sankalpa that I want God alone, not also. intent and love for God. Fixing the intellect on God means what? Nishchayatmaka buddhi. After knowing and understanding both the natures of God, unmanifest and manifest, the desire must be know God, attain God, goal as God alone. So finally what God is telling is that this life, this body, mind, intellect, use as instruments. Job, family, business, use as means, but goal keep as me. Because why? Because here is where you will get permanent, unbroken happiness. Because your goal for doing job, family, business is happiness. No, there you will get temporary happiness. Here you will get permanent happiness. After listening, reading about Manas Sarovar or Kailas, I want to resolve that I want to take a dip. Suppose we listen from many people that about Kailas, about Manas Sarovar, about Switzerland. Then after reading, discussing, then the resolve comes that I want to go there and experience. That resolve must come. Abhyasena yoge tato mami chaptum. So, if you are not able to fix mind and intellect, what is why I will not be able to fix my mind and intellect on God? Because my mind goes to family, job, business, because there is less devotion for God. Then you have to do repeated actions and reach me, practice alone. What should be practiced? I must do more satsanga. After the class, I must write down the notes, discuss with people because mind will be hooked onto it. Do japa for chitta shuddhi. And all these things I have to do so that my love, devotion, mind and intellect will be more and more fixed towards God. It seems to be very difficult. No, it is not very difficult. It will become like, suppose I get up in the morning, I don't have to tell I am Prasad, I am male, this thing is my family is this. It comes naturally to me. I don't have to keep a kind of reminder to me as a reminder was that I am this, I am this, I am this. It comes naturally. Similarly, by abhyasa, it will come naturally. All these qualities will come naturally where my mind and intellect will go. Without my knowledge to God, without my knowledge to Brahman, without my knowledge to all these things, because I am doing Shravan, Manan, Nididhyasam and I'm focusing on it. And my job, family, business, I am doing my duty cheerfully. Suppose it is not very much possible, then mat karmo paramo. If you are not able to practice this difficulty of extroverted mind, then perform all actions for me. Then tell yourself that you are only an instrument. Seva buddhi, before action seva buddhi, while doing action prema buddhi, and after performing action prasada buddhi. This is the formula of karma yoga. Before any action, this is my service to this world because I am so grateful I have got so many things. And while doing action, not out of boredom, compulsion, duty, karna, there must be love, passion, completely available there. And then after that action is complete, then whatever result I get, I take it as prasada buddhi. Sarva karma phalak tyagam tat kuru yatatmavan. So suppose I am not able to do this also, then all actions you perform for me. Let go the attachment of the fruits of action. This is what Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna again and again, that you start with this. Give up enjoyership, give up dislikes, and do all actions. Okay, if you're attached to action, attached to family, attached to business, attached to job, then do it. But then do not get attached to the result, because stress and tension, what are the causes of stress and tension? Number one, that I am thinking more of the result than the process. I am pretending and doing something else. Pretension is another cause. Thinking of the result about the future which is not yet happened is another cause. So this story is there of Samantak Mani. I will just mention that in 3 minutes. We have got 3 minutes and then complete this particular topic where the stages are given of fixing the mind alone, practice, perform all actions for me and renounce all fruits of action. Now this story is coming from renouncing all fruits of actions. So what is the story in short? There was one person called as Satrajit in Dwarka. He was a devotee of Surya Dev and he prayed for to Surya Dev, did tapas. Surya Dev appeared before him and he was having this samintak money. And when he saw that, he told Bhagwan, I want that, because the speciality of that was very interesting. The moment you wear that, you start shining, and that money was such that it used to give every day 8 bhara of gold. 8 bhara means 77 kilos of gold. This is mentioned in Vishnu Puran, in Bhagavad Puran, it has been mentioned. Now this person was having this particular thing and he was producing gold. So one day, this news came to Lord Krishna, who was the king of Dwarka. He called Satrajit in the kingdom, and every day Sabha used to be there. He told, okay, you are having 77 kilos of gold production every day. This must be used for the country, because how much you will use for personal gain. Let us have that in the Dwarka treasury. Not that I want it. Bhagwan Lord Krishna is telling. Satrajit told, no, I will not give you. He told, okay, thank you very much. I wanted this for Dwarka treasury. So he went back. He gave that money to his brother Prasanna. Prasen went one day to the jungle and were wearing that money. And there one lion killed him. And that lion took that money also. A very important point happened here. Prasenjit got disappeared. And then people, entire Dwarka had seen that Krishna asking that money from Satrajit. So the news Satrajit spread that Bhagwan Lord Krishna killed his brother and he has taken the money. So the blame came on Lord Krishna. So Lord Krishna was very upset about it. He told, not upset, he told, okay, I need to find that money. So he went in search of that, his brother Prasanna, and then went and found out that lion had killed, and lion was having that. Lion was again killed by one Jambavant bear, who was that Jambavant in Ramayana. He was having that money. And then Krishna had to fight with him, and then Jambavant realized that he Sri Ram only coming in another yuga. And then he gave that money to him. Along with money, he requested Jambavanti. If you find Krishna's marriage, Jambavanti is one wife. So he offered, he gave, you please marry her. And then Krishna came with that Samantak money and this. And then he gave it to Satrajit. Satrajit felt very much ashamed of it. That, I blamed Lord Krishna. He told Bhagwan, came in the darbar again, you take this money back, I do not want. Bhagwan told, no, this last thing what Bhagwan told, renounce all fruits of action. That is why this story is coming. Bhagwan told, no. Now once I asked, you didn't give, keep the money with you. But whatever gold that money is going to produce, put in the treasury of Dwarka. So in short, there are many versions of this, but in short, this was the point what Lord told, that gold is the karma phala and the samantak money is the karma. So whatever karma we do, we must do the karma and offer the gold in the treasury of the Lord Bhagwan. The result belongs to you. So two things, we will put Adi Shankaracharya's once session by Swami Mitrananji, very inspiring, very powerful. Please go through it today. And tomorrow's Monday's Pramana Vichar, we are going to take this. I have taken earlier, only 10-15 people had attended. But for 13th chapter, it becomes very important to know some basics. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Harihi Om. Thank you very much.